flyweight champion Demetrious Mighty Mouse Johnson. We're going to do a little something we're calling strike for strike. Now, that doesn't mean that I'm going to strike you and you're going to strike me back. No. I'm going to ask you questions. We're going to start with the jab, and we're going to work up from there. So the questions are going to get increasingly more difficult, all right? Okay. So let's start with the jab. That's the setup. You are 1 win away from breaking the record for most UFC title defenses. What has been the biggest challenge during this time?
You know, I would say the biggest challenge during this whole time is staying healthy. That's the biggest one. It's just staying healthy. You know, the motivation, keep on getting better. That's easy stuff because I'm with great coaches, Brad Kurtzen, Matt Hume, and they keep on feeding me different knowledges and making me change, telling me I should change, and that's, you know, bread and butter. But staying healthy is the biggest one.
Okay, let's move over to the sidekick, a little bit more intense than that. Former bantamweight champion Dominic Cruz has said he believes you can move up to bantamweight and that you could take on anyone in that division. Have you ever thought, or do you have any plans on moving up in weight class?
As of right now, I have no plans to move up weight classes, just because I've been there already. You know, my natural weight class is 125. At the UFC, you know, we sit down and we negotiate. I'm gonna tell them, you know, I want $1 million up front plus pay-per-view points, and then if they want to do that, then we can start discussing 135.
What do you think they'd say to that?
No.
You gotta start high, right? This is a negotiation.
Well, it's not a it's a negotiation, and I believe that's what I'm worth. It's a super fight. If we're gonna do super fights, it's gonna be super money, right? So that's what I'm gonna say. And if they don't want to, you know, meet those standards, that's totally fine. I'll stay in my weight class and keep on fighting.
Okay, let's go to the roundhouse.
Okay, roundhouse kick.
Before your last title defense, you said you wish the UFC showed more value to champions of the sport. Are they valuing showmanship over skill too much?
Absolutely. And they're running the business. That's their first in mind. But I think, in my personal opinion, I think it should go, no matter what, if you look at the roster, champions should be paid most. And then you can pick the guys who sells tickets, and then you can disperse it down there at all. I mean, me defending the belt for 10 times straight, and a guy who comes into the UFC and makes more of a payout than I do, there's something wrong with the sport.
Have you brought these concerns to Dana White, and if so, what has he said?
I have not brought these concerns. I haven't had to sit down and talk with Dana White. I've only had one. But other than that, if I was to keep it real with Dana in front of the whole world, I don't think it would be a good conversation. But me and Dana, we are in good terms with no bad blood. But if I keep it real, you know what I mean? It's just part of the sport.
But in some ways, and I'm not trying to stir up anything, but is it a sign of disrespect a little bit? Because, you know, you're out here saying, I'm the champ, I should be paid like the champ, and he has no response. He's not showing you any love in that way.
Yeah, I mean, I get paid very well. So I'm not knocking my pay at all. But if a guy who's not even a champion makes more money than me, then you have to scratch your head like, what the hell is going on here? Like, how does that make sense? Is it because ticket sales? Is it because he brings more to the table? So then you're paying for talent. You're not paying for talent. You're paying for, you know, somebody who's going to bring ticket sales. So that's why I did that thing where you can get the girl who said, catch me outside on Dr. Phil. If that's what you're looking for, she'd probably make more money than I would because she'll bring way more eyes to the table. But if I'm going after the audience in the market that they want to see true talent.
Do you feel like the importance of being a UFC champion has diminished?
I think, it depends who you ask. You could say yes, because nowadays it's not as important to be a champion for people because they know they get the big money fights without being a champion. For a good example, my boy Tyron Woodley, he's the welterweight champion of the world, and Conor McGregor and Nate Diaz aren't welterweights, and they got paid higher than the welterweight champion. So that makes you take a look at the sport, like how does that make sense? And that's just facts. That's just not me not talking. That's just facts itself. And you can't argue with facts. And that doesn't make sense.
Okay, let's go to the uppercut. Past weekend, we saw the sport of boxing announce Gennady Golovkin and Canelo Alvarez as a mega fight that's going to happen in September. Being honest, does the UFC have anything lined up for 2017 that would bring more excitement than that fight?
Oh, God, yeah. Oh, absolutely, yeah. This fight on Saturday is bringing way more excitement than the Triple G versus Canelo Alvarez. Don't get me wrong, that's a great fight, great matchup. I'm very excited to see it. I got Canelo, by the way.
Okay.
But, yeah, we got plenty of matches. I mean, Stipe Miocic taking on JDS is going to be bigger. But, yeah, there's a lot of different matches. I mean, even the Conor McGregor versus Mayweather, when Conor comes back and defends his belt, or when Jose Aldo taking on Max Holloway, I'm more excited for that fight than the Conor Mayweather.
Let's go to the Conor Mayweather fight. This is our knockout. We saw that Triple G and Alvarez took the date that presumably was on hold for Mayweather and for McGregor. Does Dana White not want Conor McGregor to fight Mayweather?
No, I think he does. I think he does. I think he wants to do it for Conor. I think if Conor does fight Mayweather, I'm sure he's going to make the biggest purse in his life, and I don't see him coming back fighting mixed martial arts. Not that he doesn't like to or he's afraid to. I think there'd be no point for him. At the end of the day, we put our bodies on the line to make money. You know what I mean? So with that being said, he'll make the biggest payout, and then he'll be like, okay, I'm done. I don't need to fight. I'll pursue other ventures, spend time with my son, my wife, and maybe I might have an itch, but if I'm going to make, $50 million to go back and fight in the UFC and make, $1 million, doesn't make sense.
So you think he would walk out of the boxing ring that night and never walk back into an octagon or a boxing ring ever again?
I could see, I think it's all, I would say yes. But, who am I to say that he might not? But if I made $50 million, my next fight, it would most likely be my last fight.
Would it be a black eye on the sport of UFC, mixed martial arts rather, if McGregor loses convincingly?
No, it'll be opposite.
Okay, so it's only bad for boxing.
Only bad for boxing. Because in mixed martial arts, the thing that puts us above boxing is that we have all facets of martial arts. To where boxing's boxing. You get beat out of 12 rounds. Good job. You didn't even knock me out. Perfect. In mixed martial arts, you're getting finished, you're getting choked out, you're getting kicked, kneed, elbowed. So a lot more things can happen there.
Demetrious Mighty Mouse Johnson, you've survived strike for strike. You did a fantastic job.
Perfect.
Ain't no thing.